Hey kids, welcome to section 9.2, monthly payment and total interest. Today we're going to learn how to use a table and a formula to determine the monthly payment, the total amount paid, and the total interest charged. A big question for today is, what are some things other than costs that you should consider before purchasing a home? Some things you might want to consider is, how long are you going to live in that house? Buying and selling and moving are long, time consuming, annoying things for most people. And if you are only planning on staying in a house for a couple months, then there's no point in you buying. So figure out where you want to put your roots down, figure out where you want to live once you get that big job, and then think about how much family are you going to have living with you. Some people buy a small house when they purchase their first house and then realize that they quickly run out of space, so they purchase a bigger house. Maybe you want to go big or go home to begin with. So lots of things other than cost that you need to think about. We're also going to use a table today. It's the monthly payment table. It's the 9.2 table in your textbook or in your folders. If you don't have it, it is on Google Classroom, so you can look at it there. But basically, we're going to look at one specific table for interest rates and how to find monthly payments. It's really good that you borrow all this money, but you're going to have to pay it back. And so for our purposes today, this is one example of one kind of table that can help you calculate monthly payments. Each country, each state, each bank has different percentage rates. They go up, they go down. Right now, they're lower than what's in this table, but they could go up again. Okay, so vocab. Lenders that make mortgage loans charge interest. Anytime you borrow money, they're going to charge you interest. And this is the money that the borrower pays for the use of the lender's money. This is like if your friend says, "Hey dude, can you spot me a 20?" And you're like, "Sure, but you got to give me 25 back." That $5 is your interest. Now, the interest rates will fluctuate from lender to lender, so it pays to shop around. Don't go into a bank and take the first offer they give you. There are other banks out there, other lending institutions that would love to get money from you in return for borrowing some of theirs. So look around and find the cheapest. And once you know what the annual interest rate is, once you know the amount of the loan and how long the loan is going to be out for, you can use a table to find the monthly payment. So there are three formulas on this page that are really important: how to find the monthly payment, how to find the amount paid, and how to find the total interest charged. So when you find the monthly payment, you're going to take the amount of the mortgage and you're always going to divide by 1,000. And then you're going to multiply it by a value from the table. So this monthly payment for $1,000 loan is the same as monthly payment for $1,000 loan. This is your table value. Then once we know how much we're paying each month, we can figure out how much we will pay throughout the entire loan. And that's by taking your monthly payment and multiplying by the number of payments. Now, I put this little reminder in here because remember, when you have a loan, it's usually for a set number of years, and each year has 12 payments. So be very careful. And then finally, we can calculate the total interest charged. This is the amount of extra money that we have to pay the lender for the privilege of borrowing. So we take the amount that we repaid and we subtract the amount that we borrowed, and that's going to give us the amount of interest charged. So again, when you guys buy a house, someone's going to do this for you, but it's important to understand where all of these numbers come from. So that's what we're going to do. Example number 1. Cameron Bond has a $390,000 mortgage loan at a 5% annual interest rate for 20 years. That means for 20 years, Cameron is going to pay back his loan. For every dollar that he borrowed, he's going to give an extra 5 cents. That's what interest rates mean. So to find his monthly payment, let's go and look at the formula again. The formula says to take the amount of the mortgage, divide by 1,000, and multiply by the table value. So we're going to take the amount of the mortgage, $390,000, divide by 1,000, and multiply by the table value. So the table value needs two things. It needs a percentage and a time period. So 5% for 20 years. Here's 5%, and here's 20 years. We're looking at a table value of 6.60. That means for every $1,000 that you borrowed, you're going to have to pay back $6.60. So now if I multiply these values together, I get a monthly payment of $2,574. That's really expensive. I mean, you are purchasing a $390,000 house, so paying back $2,500 a month shouldn't be that bad. Okay, part B wants you to find the total amount repaid. And so if you go back to the formula, it says monthly payment times number of payments. So I need to take the monthly payment, $2,574, and multiply it by the total number of payments. Well, I'm paying it for 20 years, and each year has 12 payments. So that's a total of 240 payments. So I can put times 12 per year times 20 years. This is going to give me a total amount repaid of $617,760. That's like a whole nother house. And then finally for part C, to find the interest charged, you're going to look at your formula and it says to take the amount that you paid and subtract the amount of the mortgage. So we're going to take the amount that we paid, $617,760, and subtract the amount of the mortgage, $390,000. That means that I'm paying a total interest of $227,760. That's like a whole nother house that I'm paying for. So that means that when Cameron borrowed $390,000 from the bank, he's going to give them not only that $390,000 back at the end of 20 years, but he will also have given them an additional $227,000. Kids, this is how banks make money. They loan you they loan you money and then expect you to pay them back a lot more as a thank you. Okay, number 2. Gloria and Jeff Dunn have reached an agreed upon price of $225,000 to purchase a home. They plan to make a 30% down payment and finance the rest at 6% for 25 years. What is their monthly payment? All right, so all I have to do is find the monthly payment. Well, if you notice this time, I threw in a down payment. So if you remember from the last section, I have to deal with the down payment first. And so down payments are the price of the house multiplied by the down payment percentage. So let's first find the down payment. So you're going to take the price of the house, $225,000, and you're going to multiply by the down payment percentage, 30%. This gives a down payment of $67,500. Okay, now we need to know what the mortgage amount is. So to find the mortgage amount, you're going to take the price of the house, $225,000, and subtract the down payment, $67,500. That means you're going to be borrowing $157,500. That's the amount of the mortgage. And then finally, to find the monthly payment, you're going to take the amount of the mortgage, $157,500, divide by 1,000, because that's what the formula says, and then multiply by the table value. So I need 6% for 25 years. 6%, 25 years. 6%, 25 years is 6.44. So that gives us a monthly payment of $1,014.30. So it's about half as much as the previous problems. But the price of the house is lower, so I would expect the price of the monthly payment to be lower. All right, let's try number 3. Carol and Adam Burke have applied for a $280,000 mortgage loan at a 9% annual interest rate. The loan is for 30 years, and the Burks will pay it in equal monthly payments that include interest. What is the total amount of interest charged? Okay, well, we have no down payment, so that's good. So we can jump right into monthly payment. We can take the price of the mortgage, $280,000, divide by 1,000, and multiply by the table value. So 9%, 30 years. Okay, 9%, 30 years. 9%. Ooh, 30 years. Okay. Looks like 805. 9% for 30 years. 805. So if I go ahead and do this calculation, I get $2,254. That's our monthly payment. We need to also then find the total amount paid. So $2,254, we're paying it every month. So that's 12 months. And we're paying it for 30 years. So we're going to multiply 2254 times 12 and times 30. This gives us an amount repaid of $811,440. And then finally, to find the amount of interest charged, I'm going to take the amount that I paid, $811,440, and subtract the amount that we borrowed, $280,000. This is going to give me an interest amount of $531,440. That is more than the price of the mortgage. That's a pretty high interest rate at 9%. Right now, I think interest rates are 3.5% or 4%. So a 9% interest rate is like awful. Keep in mind that if Carol and Adam had shopped around, they might have been able to find a cheaper interest rate at a different bank. Okay, one more example. Number 4. You purchase a $200,000 home for which you will make a 20% down payment. You can choose between two mortgages, 25 years at 7% or 30 years at 6.5%. Which one is less expensive at the end of the loan period and by how much? So let's call this first 25 years 7% one option A, and we will call the 30 years 6.5% option B. So no matter which option I'm going with, I have to make a down payment. So let's do that first. So we're going to take the price of the house, $200,000, and multiply by 20%. This gives us a down payment of $40,000. So then I need to find the mortgage amount. So take the price of the house, $200,000, and subtract the mortgage amount, $40,000. That's going to give me, or a down payment, that's going to give me a mortgage value of $160,000. Okay, so now I need to calculate how much each loan is going to cost me when I fully repay it. So let's do option A first. So we take the price of the mortgage, $160,000, divide it by 1,000, and times it by the table value. So option A has 25 years at 7%. 25 years, 7%. 25 years, 7% is 707. So I'm going to multiply by 707. This will give me a monthly payment of $1,131.20. So if I want to find just how much I paid, $1,131.20. I paid it every month, so that's times 12. And I paid it for 25 years, so that's times 25. This gives me a total repaid amount of $339,360. All right, let's look at option B. Option B still has 160,000 divided by 1,000. But my table value is going to be different. It's 30 years at 6.5%. So 30 years, 6.5%. 632. So if I do this math, the monthly payment will be $1,011.20. To see how much I pay here, take the monthly payment, $1,011.20. I pay it every month, so times 12, and I pay it for 30 years, so times 30. This gives me a total amount repaid of $364,032. So which one is less expensive at the end of the loan period? Looks like option A is less expensive. Is less. Okay, so I said option A, and that's because it's got a less amount that we repaid. The question also is by how much. So I can take the bigger price, $364,032, and subtract the cheaper price, $339,360, and that gives me a difference of $24,672. So if you want to save yourself $25,000, you should go with option A. Option A has a higher monthly payment, but less money overall. Option B has a lower monthly payment, but more money overall. So I guess it's whichever one you prefer. All right, kids, if you have any questions, let me know. And as always, keep calm and keep trucking.